Hello and welcome back to another episode of Nick Tiffany's Movie Reviews in the podcast form. Today we're coming back with another Seattle International Film Festival favorite. This is a huge hit at Sundance as well, and that's Theater Camp, directed by Molly Gordon and Nick Lieberman, written by Molly Gordon and Nick Lieberman, as well as Noah Galvin. Molly Gordon, Noah Galvin, also two of the main stars here, along with Ben Platt and Jimmy Tatro. Essentially the story is you've got a rundown theater camp in New York that when their head, Joan, when she gets into a coma, it's up to her social media savvy but not so theater savvy son Troy to try and keep the camp alive and make another successful summer for all these kids who really need this place. Growing up, I did a lot of theater. Musical theater, straight plays, improv, you name it. Karaoke, not that that's a theater exclusive thing, but performing was always something that I was interested in. And so, I think I maybe went to like a summer camp, but it was never anything like what this movie was. This is a very specific idea, and I'm pretty sure it's probably pretty spot on, of what theater kids would look like at a summer camp. You've got all these counselors who have their areas of expertise. Ben Platt's character Amos helps teaching acting. Molly Gordon's Rebecca Diane helps do music instruction as well as directing with Amos. Noah Galvin plays Glenn, who is the do-it-all tech theater master. Anything and everything you could need done in the background, he's your guy. And you've also got Gigi, played by Owen Teal, who does all designs as far as makeup, dress, everything. And Nathan Lee Graham, who plays Clive, who's going to be your dance instructor. So, they really, really have a wonderfully eccentric group of teachers there. And then you've got Troy, played just perfectly by Jimmy Tatro. Completely the odd man out. It's not even that he looks more like a jock than some of the people there, but, you might know him from American Vandal, The Real Bros of Simi Valley, 22 Jump Street. He's huge on YouTube. He is just hilarious. And he plays the dumb, douchey jock bro perfectly. That's not necessarily his role here, but, his humor is still spot on for the kind of character he usually plays. And it's just a perfect foil to these cannot be bothered 20 and 30 something instructors here who theater is their bread and butter. It is the air that they breathe. And the fact that he, the son of the mighty Joan, is here taking things on, it's just horrifying. But what most people don't know is that the camp is also at risk of being bankrupt. And they're going to lose everything unless they can come up with a plan. So while you've got everyone trying to teach the kids, trying to put on a number and a play in honor of Joan, Troy's also bumbling around trying to figure out, okay, how can I save this place? What's viable? We got a lot of freakishly talented kids here, so how can we use that to our advantage? And organized chaos ensues. I thought this film was terrific. I know I'm completely biased in terms of being in that theater world, and I can understand that this probably would be kind of weird and maybe odd for some people. You might not get some of the musical references, but there's more than enough across the board to entertain any audience member. This movie is really at its strongest when you've also got the kids kind of working in it as well. There's some good drama in the background, but a lot of it's anchored by the performances, the in-film performances of all these different actors. And, you've got children who are probably in 5th or 6th grade being told by adults like, oh, it's pretty pitchy and, everything that we're going to break you and rebuild. This isn't just theater camp. It's like boot camp, theater camp. We're going to turn you into the greatest young stars in the world. So it really, they really hit their stride and the belly laughs when the kids are performing and when they're working with the kids. You've got these aspects of these 20 and 30 somethings who are feeling like, we probably missed our mark as far as becoming performers became, but at least we can teach. Maybe we're not going to take the risk and just risk it all to become big actors, but we're going to help these kids so that maybe they can in the future. And of course, the role of Troy also helps you, the audience, and maybe you, the uninitiated in the world of theater, understanding, as crazy and as weird and as like eye-popping as some of the stuff you see and hear is from these children. You really do get an idea and a sense of where a lot of them come from and how this really is one of the only places, just like the theater at any school, becomes a safe haven in the sense of, it's a lot of lovable weirdos in there. Everybody's fighting their different battles. She might be a lesbian, he might be gay, she might be trans. There's none of that matters in the theater because everybody, I don't want to say everybody's playing a role, but you could be whoever you want to be there, including your absolute self. And it's a place where everybody knows life is messy, people are messy, but that's why we love each other. And so there's always been a really beautiful camaraderie just in the world of theater, between the artists, between hair and makeup, between all these different teams who work towards that same goal of just putting on a show-stopping production. And so to that degree, I think it was really special and really great how they kind of highlighted some of the different kids as well, all the different types of theater kids you might see in that environment, and just how much the world of performance means, and how impactful the work that you do can be, whether in your own life or in the audience's life. You want to tell stories that change the way you think, that change the way you feel. I know we always give Nicole Kidman crap for her AMC ads, but it's why we go to the movies. She's not wrong. We go to see stories larger than life that break our hearts and build them back together and just completely expand our minds, whether it's as to what's possible or, the capacity for love and the capacity for change and so many things. This movie is a freaking hoot. It is just a really terrific time, whether, like I said, whether you're a huge theater nut or not. I can see everybody having a great time with this. You might get some odd looks here and there. You might not totally understand everybody, and that's fine. Not everybody's asking to be understood either by everybody. But this is one of those I wish I would have seen it the first night it showed, because I probably would have gone and seen it again. The writing is snappy. It's sharp, biting at times too. So many people get so catty with each other, and it's just amazing. And then so many of the cluelessness, the cluelessness of Jimmy Tatra's character sometimes, just trying to observe this world of theater and these theater nerds and geeks, and just like, how do I communicate here, man? Like the kid got in trouble for throwing a football around. They're like, what the hell are you doing? Put that down. God, I mean, it's just great. It's a great, I can see why this was such a hit at Sundance. It was a short film originally. I believe it was filmed right around the pandemic at the start. And so it was just really nice to see that they got the backing and the support to make this into a full feature, because it's just a blast. And what it has to say, obviously, too, about performance and taking risks and taking these chances. It's beautiful. It's really great stuff. For this movie, I was back at the Uptown in Queen Anne. Just awesome being there again. A full theater. It was a loud theater. People just had a really great time. And so that's what I would hope and expect for audiences when you go see this. I think it comes out July 14th. So absolutely keep an eye out for it. Just wonderful, wonderful stuff. Especially, if you're like me, if you're a huge theater nut, you're going to love it. Even though it's got Ben Platt. No disrespect to Ben Platt. I just, there's a lot of theater people think he's like a sellout now because he's been doing movies, and he did the Dear Evan Hansen where, he did it on Broadway, which I think worked a little bit better when he was younger, but playing the high schooler at 30 something almost. God, it was really funny makeup, really funny stuff. But he's great in the movie, guys. Don't let that turn you away. They're all fantastic. So when the time comes, go see Theater Camp. Thank you, and stay tuned for more SIF coverage.